guys, John with DiabloSport here. Today we're doing a demonstration video on a PCM swap for a 2015 Dodge Charger, which also covers the 2015 Chrysler 300. The following tools you will need is a panel tool, 10mm socket, a 13mm socket, a basic ratchet, and a rag. The first step to the process is to remove the negative terminal of the battery. It is actually located in the rear of the vehicle on the Chrysler 300 and the Dodge Charger. It is located underneath the luggage compartment on the passenger side of the vehicle. The negative terminal is actually located to the furthest rear of the car on the battery. What you want to do is you want to access your 10mm nut, take your ratchet, all you have to do is loosen it up, take the entire terminal, wiggle it while pulling upwards, and remove it. Take your rag, place it between the terminal and the battery just to keep things safe. This is your basic panel tool. You can buy one of these at any of your automotive retail locations. What you want to do is you want to go between the plastic and the metal strut tower. Take your panel tool, place it in, and pry upwards, removing one at a time. The next step in the process is to remove the cabin air filter cover. Just place it aside. After you've removed the cabin filter cover, push up on the plastic. It will bend, it'll be a little tight, but just push it out of the way. And the strut, the shock from the hood will actually hold it in place. Using a 13mm socket and a basic ratchet, you want to remove the one bolt that is holding the PCM to the strut tower brace. Remove the one bolt and put it aside. Once you remove the bolt, pull upwards on the PCM. Go to one harness first. There is a center button you want to push. After you push that, slide the red locking clasp out, away from the PCM, and the PCM connector will release, wiggle it, and you'll be able to remove it. Pulling further up on the PCM, do the same thing for the second connector, down low, wiggle it, and it'll come out as well. If you notice, each connector is color coordinated and only goes in the correct location. Now that you've removed the factory engine computer from the vehicle, before we remove this bracket, I just have to mention that you want to keep this computer in a cool, dry place. Now with the factory PCM, we actually have to remove the bracket that held it in place. So using a 10mm and a ratchet, remove the two 10mm nuts on the bracket. Now taking your Diablo PCM, you reverse the order of reinstalling the bracket onto the PCM. After you've swapped the bracket onto the new Diablo PCM, you also want to swap the rubber bumper. It goes in the bottom hole and just pushes in place. You're going to reinstall it in its original factory location, starting with the lower, which is the gray connector first. Line it up. Snap the red clasp in place, push it down a little bit, and do the same thing for the secondary harness. After you put the PCM in its factory location, you want to go ahead and reinstall the 13mm bolt. Once you've reinstalled the 13mm bolt, you're going to reinstall the cowel and then also reinstall the cabin air filter cover. So gently push it down into place, clear of all the bolts. Lock it in against. Reinstall the push pins. And finally, reinstall the cabin air filter cover. At this point, you have successfully completed the PCM swap on your 2015 Dodge Charger or Chrysler 300. The final step of the process is to go in the rear of the vehicle and reconnect the negative terminal of the battery. Go to the terminal, remove the rag, push the terminal over the battery, push it down, make sure it's snug. Take your ratchet with your 10mm socket and tighten the nut. We have actually just completed the PCM engine swap on a Dodge Charger. Now, like I said in the beginning of the video, it's the same exact function on a Chrysler 300. No matter what engine you have, the PCM is located in the same spot. At this point, we're completed. Other than tuning, you're ready to drive.